Alright, we're going to do an exercise demonstration on kettlebell swing today, and to differentiate the two main types of kettlebell swing, which is an American style and what's commonly called a Russian style. Our Russian style is with a shorter range of motion. It's typically a more power development focused exercise, so give us a demonstration, Riley. You see that we flick up the kettlebell in an explosive, powerful motion where we're not too worried about how high the kettlebell goes. It's all about getting a posterior chain stretch. That's the muscles in the back of the leg getting a stretch. It's quite, power focused, so sports conditioning is where you would see it being used. The other method is the American swing, which is typically a larger range of motion. If Rolly gives us a demonstration where we'll get it right up overhead. This one's a bit more measurable because we can get it, say the range of motion is measurable. It's usually a bit more cardio focused, fitness focused, because of the workload over time. If you look at the range of motion, the amount of work happening, but you generally have a lighter kettlebell doing more reps, a bit more fitness cardio focused. Have a rest there. Some of the common problems that we see in either of the kettlebell swing styles is this. The first one is too much knee bend. So if Rolly gives us an incorrect version of the kettlebell swing, you'll see that it's very squatty and too much knee bend. We're not after a squat. What we want is to point the bum way back. So give us a demonstration pointing the bum way back. We should get a big stretch in the hamstrings and what we call the posterior chain, and that's where all of the force comes from. Next is the knees. We do want them to straighten and lock out at the top of the movement, what we call knee extension. If that doesn't happen, you'll see what Rolly's doing now. The knees will just push forward, and we really see this a lot in the movements. Push it, exaggerate. Yes, where the knees go forward and they're not locking out. Give us a lockout. That's it, straight into a lockout. And that's what we want to see on every kettlebell, regardless of which swing it is. This also coincides with another problem. If we focus in on the heels here, if he does that motion where the knees push forward and the heels are coming off the ground. And this is also very common, and we know right away that this is an incorrect swing. Even if they're less than that, we'll see knees go forward, push them forward, and then heels will come off a little. Yep, and we know, you can have a rest there, we know that that's the incorrect form. I could just look at someone's heels and say that's a bad kettlebell swing. They should drive into the floor with a really explosive push. That's where the force goes. And finally is torso tension. So this is where we want to keep the straight chest, tall, straight spine at the bottom of the swing. Give us a demonstration where we see the torso look a little slack, particularly when it's coming down from overhead and the torso kind of just lets go. We want to have that nice and tight, keep going straight into a tight swing. That's it, much better. The tailbone goes back, but the chest stays tall. Have a rest. And there are our two main styles of kettlebell swing and the common faults to correct them. Thanks.